Hello, everyone, and welcome. I'm thrilled you're here today. For those who don't know me, I am Dori Gonzalez Acevedo, founder of ProCellRx. After being a life science strategic partner to some of the largest pharmaceutical and medical device companies for over 2 decades, I have heard it all. I've worked with many of you directly advising, guiding, challenging when needed, always focused on delivering not just the capabilities of today, but the realities of what works and what doesn't. And more importantly, helping you line up for the future. Over the next several weeks, this series will introduce solutions that hit the high need areas you've been talking about: AI readiness, validation, burden, disconnected systems, outdated ALM platforms, and lack of in house expertise. Today, we kick off with ComplianceFlow. Let's start with this truth. AI is here, not new, but now more usable and ubiquitous than ever. And the problem that's grown in parallel data, overload fragmented systems, siloed compliance, we've created complexity. Now we need agility. We've created complexity. Now we need agility. ComplianceFlow is our response. A joint solution from three-channel powerhouses: ProCellRx, your life science strategic partner; Malillo Consulting, the experts behind Agile Approve and e-signature workflows; and Falk Consulting, the automation and integration specialists using Connect. Together, we bring you a fully managed, pre-validated, pre-configured ALM SaaS solution that is ready from day one. But I want to address something that keeps many of you awake at night: constant audit anxiety. The aim is always to be audit ready from the start, which helps us avoid costly rework, project delays, and even regulatory penalties. But how many of you are truly confident in your current ALM system's ability to deliver that audit readiness? If you're feeling uncertain, you're not alone. Today, we're addressing a scenario that probably sounds familiar to many of you. You implemented an application lifecycle management system several years ago, and at the time it met your needs reasonably well. But as your organization has grown and regulatory requirements have evolved, that system has become more of a burden than a benefit. However, I want to be very clear from the onset: there is no one-size-fits-all solutions for this challenge and what you're facing today within your organizations. That is precisely why this is the first in series of webinars where we will introduce several innovation systems developed to, by, and with our strategic partners. Now, two organizations face identical challenges or cookie cutter approaches. Simply, they don't work in regulated environments. However, I want to be very clear from the onset: there is no one-size-fits-all solutions for the challenges facing regulatory organizations today. That is precisely why this is the first in a series of webinars where we will introduce several innovative solutions developed with our strategic partners. No two organizations face identical challenges, and cookie-cutter approaches simply don't work. As your strategic advisor, ProCellRx helps you obtain the right diagnosis for your specific challenges and the total solution you need to unlock the potential within your organization. Let me walk through the 4 critical challenges that are driving organizations to seek better solutions. First, intense regulatory pressure. There is a constant need to meet strict industry standards, making compliance a primary focus rather than an enabler of innovation. Meeting these standards has become non-negotiable, but your current systems may be making compliance harder than it needs to be. Second, it is costly and time-consuming validation. Initial software validation and ongoing change management are expensive, complex, and drain internal resources. Many organizations spend months and significant budgets on validation efforts that should be streamlined and pre-validated. Third, disconnected systems using different tools for application lifecycle management, testing, and compliance activities lead to data silos, poor traceability, and many business inefficiencies. This fragmentation creates gaps that introduce compliance, risk, and operational inefficiencies altogether. Fourth, constant audit anxiety. The aim is to be audit ready from the start to avoid costly rework, project delays, and regulatory penalties. But most current ALM implementations create anxiety rather than confidence when audit time approaches. Are you tired of dealing with these high, complex compliance costs and hurdles? Well, you're not alone. And addressing these challenges is crucial for your success. Mid market organizations face a perfect storm of missing capabilities that larger enterprises take for granted. Most mid market teams lack dedicated computer system validation experts who understand the intricate requirements of regulated software development, lifecycle management, and quality assurance professionals with deep regulatory knowledge are increasingly rare and expensive to acquire. Even when organizations invest in advanced testing tools, they often lack team members who understand fundamental concepts like shift left testing methodologies or how to effectively implement automation testing strategies. This expertise gap creates a cascade of operational challenges. Let me describe the personas we encounter repeatedly across mid-market regulated organizations. The overwhelmed quality manager. This individual has been tasked with ensuring compliance and quality, but lacks formal computer system validation training. They understand the importance of regulatory compliance, but struggle to translate high-level requirements into systematic ALM processes. Next, the frustrated development lead or the DevOps engineer or tester. This person understands software development but feels constrained by the compliance requirements. They don't fully understand them. They may resist quality processes because they perceive them as bureaucratic obstacles rather than systematic approaches to risk reduction. The isolated compliance specialist, on the other hand, this individual may have some regulatory knowledge but lacks the technical expertise to implement effective compliance workflows. They understand what needs to be documented for audits, but struggle to establish systematic processes and therefore make things more complicated. Then you have your underutilized or not underutilized, but under-resourced IT leader. This person manages multiple business systems and lacks the specialized ALM knowledge required to optimize development lifecycle management while maintaining vendor relationships and ensuring ongoing compliance. The fundamental issue is loss of control, compounded by knowledge gaps. Your current ALM system dictates your processes rather than supporting them, but your team lacks the expertise to envision better alternatives. To succeed, you need to overcome compliance hurdles without slowing down innovation. Your core needs are clear. You need speed and efficiency to speed up testing and validation, to launch products faster while maintaining quality. Your core processes are too slow and too manual. You need guaranteed compliance and a system designed to be compliant from day one with key regulations, removing guesswork and ensuring audit readiness from the very start. You need a single source of truth, a tool chain offering end-to-end real-time traceability for all development and compliance workflows. Eliminating the data silos that create risk. You need reduced operational burden to offload those heavy lifting and compliance management, allowing your teams to focus on scientific innovation and business value creation. So let me introduce ComplianceFlow. It's compliant from day one, fully managed for as long as you want. ComplianceFlow is pre-validated application lifecycle management SaaS solution designed specifically for regulated industries. It seamlessly integrates compliance, automation, and change control to keep organizations audit ready from day one. ComplianceFlow delivers three critical pillars. First, compliant from the start, built-in validation and alignment with FDA's GAMP and ISO standards to ensure you are compliant from day one, which eliminates costly rework. ComplianceFlow incorporates comprehensive regulatory frameworks that have been pre-validated by compliance experts, so you're not starting from scratch. Second, connected from the start. ComplianceFlow seamlessly integrates ALM test automation and compliance workflows, ensuring real-time traceability. The system connects your user stories and defects directly to the software lifecycle, ensuring validated changes and zero data copy issues. Third, controlled from the start, validated change management. Audit trails and governance-driven workflows provide a complete visibility and confidence in your day-to-day operations. Every change is checked, and tracked. Every decision is documented, and every process supports audit readiness. ComplianceFlow leverages three best-in-class tools working in perfect synergy: open text, application quality management, enhanced with AgileApprove. Malilla's Consulting AgileApprove enhances open text application quality management with enforceable workflows and compliance features specifically designed for regulated software development. This provides the robust foundation that legacy systems typically lack. Next, we have Kenigma Connect integration platform. Folk Consulting configures Kenigma Connect framework that offers custom integrations for popular tools like Jira, ServiceNow, and test automation, so that you have a seamless connectivity in your existing workflows. This eliminates the integration limitations that constrain legacy ALM systems while being compliant. For Solarx Managed Services, our compliance as a service expertise ensures that the entire ecosystem operates optimally while maintaining regulatory compliance. Most importantly, Solarx manages and maintains quality agreements on behalf of our customers, including conducting regular vendor audits and maintaining constant feedback loops with all technology providers. ComplianceFlow creates a unified flow that seamlessly connects your user stories and defects directly to the software lifecycle. The system ensures that every change is validated, leaving no room for data or copy issues or compliance gaps. Kenigma Connect serves as the intelligent hub that connects all of your applications and workflows and user stories. ComplianceFlow represents a joint venture of three industry leaders, merging decades of expertise in regulatory compliance, software quality, and process efficiency. Solarx specializes in compliance as a service and regulatory software quality testing. We ensure that every aspect of compliance is managed with precision and reliability while providing ongoing vendor management and quality agreement oversight. Malillo Consulting specializes in AgileApprove, enhancing OpenText application quality management with enforceable workflows and crucial compliance features. This means you can trust that every workflow supports your regulated needs while providing enterprise-grade ALM capability. Folk Consulting focuses on the Kenigma Connect for business process optimization and workflow efficiency, ensuring that your operations run smoothly and effectively while maintaining seamless integration across your technology ecosystem. Together, these elements create a powerful, unified approach to managing compliance, software quality, and process efficiency. This synergy is at the heart of the ComplianceFlow, setting a new standard in the industry for mid-market organizations that need enterprise-grade capabilities without enterprise-level complexity and cost. Now, I'd like to bring in our partner from Malillo Consulting to give you a deeper insight into how AgileApprove transforms OpenText application quality management for regulated environments and addresses the ALM modernization challenges we've been discussing.
Thanks for having me. I'm Ryan Folk with Folk Consulting. For over 20 years, I've helped clients across life sciences, healthcare, and financial services improve quality assurance and performance in some of the most regulated environments out there. At Folk, we see QA as more than just testing. It's about building trust in your systems and delivering documentation and audit readiness at the speed of business. That's why our partnership with Solarx is such a powerful fit. Together, we've constructed ComplianceFlow, a modern intelligent compliance and validation framework designed specifically for regulated organizations looking to move faster without sacrificing control. We're seeing a trend across the industry. Teams are stuck with validation tools that were outdated or less flexible and lost their momentum. Updates slow down, integrations break, and suddenly your once reliable tool doesn't support the systems you're upgrading. We've worked with several clients who are frustrated, out of support, and still manually bridging gaps with spreadsheets and PDFs. That's where ComplianceFlow makes a real difference. Makes ComplianceFlow unique is that it's tool agnostic and workflow driven. It doesn't matter if you're using ALM, Jira, Qtest, or even Azure DevOps, or other custom solutions. We connect to your environment, automate validation steps, and create end-to-end traceability. And because it's based on best practices from real audits, it generates documentation that's inspection ready from day one. Take one recent client, a large pharmaceutical company facing an upcoming FDA inspection. Their existing toolset couldn't keep up with the pace of system changes, and they were drowning in manual work. We implemented ComplianceFlow alongside their existing systems, introduced automated testing and approval flows, and centralized their evidence and traceability in just 6 weeks. The result? A 70% reduction in validation prep time and a successful audit with 0 findings. We believe the next 6 to 12 months will be a major turning point for regulated organizations. As compliance expectations rise and IT modernizes, validation has to evolve too. ComplianceFlow gives teams a way to modernize confidently without ripping out everything they've already built. So if your current tool set is holding you back, or you're tired of patching together validation processes manually, let's have a conversation. ComplianceFlow is built to work with you, not against you. Procellerex and the team around are here to help guide with this transition.
Next up is a few words from our partners at Melillo Consulting.
Hi there, I'm Andres Rustam, Director of Managed Services at Melillo Consulting. And if you're in life sciences, you already know that staying compliant can be a huge lift, especially from day one. That's what ComplianceFlow changes the game. It's a pre-configured, pre-validated ALM SaaS solution designed to make FDA, CAMP, and ISO compliance a built-in advantage, not a barrier. No more last-minute audit panic, no more ballooning validation costs, just real-time traceability, change control, and automation, all managed for you. Now, here's the real differentiator, the powerhouse behind it. Our joint venture brings together 3 proven experts, Procellerex, Melillo Consulting, and Folk Consulting. Procellerex delivers regulatory software quality testing expertise. Melillo ensures enforceable compliance workflows through the use of AgileProof. And Folk integrates seamlessly with your existing SDLC tools using Connectna. Together, we deliver scalable compliance tailored to your business size and regulatory needs. Whether you're just starting global or expanding globally, ComplianceFlow ensures you're compliant from the start and fully managed forever. Let's make compliance your competitive edge.
ComplianceFlow offers 3 service packages designed specifically for different mid-market organizational profiles, each providing complete managed ALM services with varying levels of customization and support intensity. The starter pack is ideal for small teams or startups looking to establish a foundation. For organizations with 10 to 20 users, this package provides 40 hours support per month with a minimum of 1-year subscription. The growth package is designed for growing businesses that require more flexibility for organizations with fewer than 50 users. This package provides 80 hours of support per month with enhanced integration services and dedicated customer success management. This is our best value option. Enhanced features include everything from the starter pack plus configurable approval groups and routes. This package, the growth package, is designed for growing businesses that require more flexibility for organizations with fewer than 50 users. This package provides 80 support hours per month with enhanced integration services and dedicated custom success management. This is our best value option. Enhanced features include everything in the starter pack plus 1 custom Kenigma connection and a dedicated customer success manager. The system is connected to integrate applications via Kenigma using the seamless workflow management, and it allows you to choose which one you'd like to do. The enterprise package serves organizations with complex needs and high regulatory requirements for organizations greater than 50 users. This package provides a minimum of 120 support hours per month with advanced automation and multiple custom integrations with a 3-year minimum subscription. Comprehensive features include everything from the other 2 packages, plus advanced custom integrations. This package addresses complex organizational requirements while maintaining the managed service model that eliminates internal resource burden and vendor management responsibilities. Today, we're introducing a compliance platform tailored specifically for growing teams, not just for global giants. Let's explore what this means for you. With ComplianceFlow, you'll benefit from a system that's pre-validated right from the start. It's a game changer because it offers fixed monthly cost, ensuring budget predictability. Plus, it's fully hosted and managed, so there's no need to worry about infrastructure. What sets ComplianceFlow apart is at the core, its team of software quality lifecycle, testing automation, and compliance experts, ensuring you have the support you need to go live quickly. This means no budget needed for consultants, no tolerance for audit risk, no worries, and no lengthy deployment times to worry about. You also avoid the hassle of on-premise infrastructure and the need for in-house CSV experts. This streamlined approach allows your team to focus on what they do best while maintaining compliance with ease. Here's what you'll get from day one. Ready to go? You'll know your monthly costs so you can budget your growth. A white glove service that gives you lifecycle testing, automation, and compliance experts available to you. Complete vendor management and quality agreement oversight. If you don't have the following, we'd like to spend time with you to right-size a solution. This is the power of partnership in action. The OpenText Partner Channel empowers organizations. ComplianceFlow can revolutionize your approach to validation. It's all about getting to market faster and safer, which is crucial in today's competitive landscape. Here are the next steps to help you leverage these benefits. First, schedule a personalized demo to see ComplianceFlow in action. You can do this by visiting our website at prosellerx.co. and download our new white paper discussing OpenText Aviator in application quality management. Now let's open up to questions. All righty. Well, welcome. Thanks for joining us today. And I have some members of our partnership team here from Molillo Consulting and from Folk Consulting, as well as Perselerex. I know some of you may have met some of these people in the past, but I'm going to go through and introduce. I'm going to start with Mike McDonald from Molillo.
Hi, Jory. Thanks. Yes, I'm with Molillo Consulting. I was with HP for 29 years before joining Molillo in 2007, and an awful lot of that time has been spent in the pharmaceutical and compliance space. Look forward to working with you folks. Thanks very much.
All right, Brant.
Hi, I'm Brandon Nolan. I work with Folk Consulting. I'm the manager of testing and automation. Interesting fact about me. My family is a medical family, so I grew up hearing about all of these things all the time from my parents and my siblings. I'm the black sheep because I went into tech. So I'm really excited to be here. And of course, so happy to be working with Dory.
Awesome. Andreas, I'm not sure if you're able to come off mute, but we're happy to hear you. I know there you are.
Yes, I am busy with an emergency over here, but listening to the webinar and looking forward to hear everybody's opinions on what you have to present. And thank you for letting me participate.
Awesome. And we have Jake. Jake is one of our new members at Perselerex. You know, bringing in someone fresh and new that has not had experience in the workforce or in these particular areas of expertise has been a fresh perspective, let me tell you, and keeping things real of what's going on out in the other parts of the universe that we often don't talk about. So thanks, Jake, for joining us. One of the things before we get too far into Q&A, we talked about why partnership matters. And so one of the things I wanted to just reach out and ask each of you from both sides, why the partnership matters and what do you guys see, what we've done so far together and how we're going to take this into the future. So Mike, do you want to start?
So the question is how we're going to take this into the future.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So obviously we've invented something new. So we have been listening very carefully to what the needs of the market are. We have a lot of customers in this space. And what we have found overall is that people have been stuck dealing with different vendors with different perspectives on these particular solutions. No one has brought it all together in a way that focuses right out of the chute on the specific needs of the companies that are regulated by things like 21 CFR Part 11. And that's what we've done. That's what Dory and her team with Molillo and Folk have built is complete business solutions, a whole product offering that looks at your compliance needs and tries to come up with a 100% solution out of the chute where all of the different components understand your specific requirements and we're focused on solving them.
Brant, do you want to take it from the Folk perspective?
Absolutely. 20 years of consulting. And every single time I walk in, it's a different problem and a different solution and trying to tie all the strings together and starting over from scratch every single time. The difference with ComplianceFlow is, as Mike said, I want to echo it, it's built in, it's ready to roll. We don't have to reinvent the wheel over and over and over again. Mixing this level of expertise along with the flexibility, which is really the key part of this, is what's driving this straight into the future. At a certain point, your ROI is diminished when you're spending more time trying to stay compliant by constantly inventing new solutions. You're going to fall behind. You're going to end up with future headaches you can't even predict. We take that out of the equation. We predict those future headaches for you. We stay ahead of the curve for you.
Thanks, Brant. And so in the ways that we've thought about this, as you know, Perselerex has been a strategic life science advisor for many of you for many, many years. And we know there's a specific need in the mid-market in terms of the lack of resources that you might have available to you in your organization and the expertise in these particular areas, right? And so together, we also know that ALM as a backbone is still a predominant market leader in this space. And so with Agile Approve from Melillo, I'm going to ask Andreas to talk about that in a minute. We can do all of that for you on a managed service offering so that you don't have to worry about your upgrades. You don't have to worry about the connections between Agile Approve and ALM. And then further to go, as you evolve, you don't have to worry about your integrations with Kenigma. So whether or not you want to change some of how your other businesses units are doing work. So if they still want to stay in Jira, that's fine, but you can have all your regulated documentation and all your testing assets in one full repository still in ALM. In this model, it's a managed service model offering, which allows customers to get at a lower price point than the standard enterprise on-premise cost with all of that bells and whistles from year over year. So we've done a lot of cost benefit analysis in the last couple of years, and we'd be happy to walk folks through that and and see where the value add is financially, not just along, the service that you get, because these are the people that you would talk to when you get a service call, right? It's not some far off disconnected chatbot. It's actually people, right? At the end of the day. So Andreas, do you mind talking a little bit about the advancements in Agile Approve and why we've chosen that to go to market together with? If you can. Mikey, do you want to take that one?
Well, sure. I'll go back to some of the reasons why we're doing this, right? So you've mentioned how strong a player ALM is in this space, but what we have found is that even when dealing within a single vendor like OpenText, lots of times the ALM guys don't know what the SaaS guys are doing. The SaaS team doesn't understand the regulatory environment. Then the ALM guys don't necessarily understand what the guys providing the the compliant component are doing. And they just don't understand the whole picture. Then you start adding things like, okay, now the customer wants to integrate everything with Jira or with ADO, and it just explodes. There's just no way to control or maintain the auditability that's required by your industry with all of those different components. And that's what we've worked to solve here by pulling all those pieces together so that traditionally we say one throat to choke. What we'd like to put forth is now you're going to have one back to pat as we move forward and you enter into an audit without the same dread that you have in the past.
I like that. That's a new coin phrase I'm going to have to do. So let me go through some of the basic QAs that I think that folks would be interested in knowing, right? So this is a fully SaaS offering, right? Will be managed on an AWS cloud. Now that cloud can also, if needed, if you really want to do it on your in-house cloud, we could do that for you too. But the basic understanding is we would like to move you to a fully managed SaaS offering so that we can offboard all that labor for you. It's just like everything else, like you get to scale with multi-tenant and then dedicated servers as you go along. Now, each case may be different depending on what organizations actually do test, right? We know that basic testing in a low risk GXP way is not product data, right? So there's a level of risk that is not introduced in some of organizations' testing needs. Now, there are other organizations that would be on the enterprise side, like medical device, and others that are using these tools to actually test direct product impact. And that's a special need, and we would take that separately. But for the most part, a lot of folks are using these tools in order to do just some routine release checks, configuration checks, getting SaaS vendors that they've already used right before, but they need to do quick UAT. So we can manage all of that for them, and then that UAT is what they need to do. Because it's on the AWS backbone, we're fully scalable, and we manage all of those instances within that purview. So with the managed services, you get the system administration, right? You get validation maintenance on your releases. So what that means is we coordinate with all of the vendors that make up the entire stack, and we meet with them quarterly so we understand what features as per, as an offering to you, what's coming, right? So then we can sit down with you to figure out what do you want to take advantage of or not, and how does that impact what you currently have or not, and what help you need in order to make that possible moving forward. So in those quarterly meetings, you also hear about new features that are coming down the line. OpenText, as you know, has AI capabilities, and they're expanding that all the time. Kenigma and Connections are reaching out to new tools every day, and we're going to talk about some of those examples in a minute, Brand. So I'm going to cue you up for that. And part of that is you get that vendor oversight at that granular level. I can't tell you how many times that I've been pulled in after the fact during a vendor audit for an organization, and they don't understand the software vendor terminology, or they conflict with what some organizations have on their policy. And there's the communication gap, that human in the loop piece there is missing, right? So we help mind that gap so there's understanding from both sides. In true fashion, we have our SLAs and that we live by for that. I'd like to switch over to Brant. If you can give some examples of some of the use cases from different tools and connections that Kenigma is able to offer.
Absolutely. And again, this is why we work with Kenigma, right? Over and over again, you're going to see situations where, let's be honest, there's two paths here. Either you need a new tool because your old tool isn't working anymore, or you want a new tool because there's a new feature, as Dory was saying, maybe an AI capability that wasn't there before. And you're going to have a constant flow of tool vendors trying to convince you their tool is better. And then if you do choose that tool, how does it integrate with all the existing ones you have? Or are you working in a fractured environment where different teams on different projects are using those different tools? Now you're going to need more tools, more solutions. Well, use this plugin, use this connector, use this, you use that. And next thing you know, you're snowballing and snowballing. And especially when you're working with compliance, you need to be keeping things streamlined. What Kenigma does is it allows you to plug into whatever tool you are using. It's like we said, we're tool agnostic here. We're not saying you have to use this, you have to use that. Whatever you are using, we work with. Kenigma's, their developers are phenomenal. They're always ahead of the game. They're always looking at those new tools. They, those relationships that we build with the vendors, as Dory was saying. We have people on the inside. It's something that we do here a lot at Folk is we're constantly looking at who's offering something new, who is offering something better, and how will it benefit our customers? How will it bring value to them? Kenigma allows us to be able to tie in all of those things without, again, reinventing the wheel or trying to bring in 3 or 4 more separate tools to deal with your tool disparity. Of course, having experts who are SMEs in each of those tools as well is a huge boom. As Dory was saying, maybe you're facing that trouble of you don't have the staff for this, right? You brought in a new tool, but your managers have never used it before. This is clearly a better option, or this is the only option that's going to get you where you need to be. We bring that expertise to you. We bring it in and we stitch it together. And that's what ComplianceFlow does. It stitches each of those tools together. That's what Folk adds. We add those SMEs, those experts, and those relationships.
Thanks, Brand. So with the last couple of minutes here, I do want to switch into what we're asking. And if there's anyone on the line that has additional questions, please raise your hand, let us know. What we're wanting to do, first of all, this is a first in a series of several webinars that you'll see offering in the next couple of weeks here from ProcellarX and Melillo and Fall. Right. So for those of you that don't know, my biggest goal is always to bring right partners together. And so as each year comes through at ProcellarX, I evaluate critically all of the partners in our ecosystem, and we decide who and what we want to go to market together with and how we can help you given what we've heard in your needs, right? So there's a couple of more strategic partners that I'm going to be announcing in the next couple of weeks as well, which is pretty exciting. All of these things that we're packaging and putting together for you can help you in different ways. So what we want to make sure that we can get is sign up for time for a demo. All right. That's number one. And for those that are interested, we have more time to set apart for different strategies. So next week coming up, we're going to do with Melillo around archiving. And archiving has been a hot topic for a variety of reasons. And I'm going to give my little plug here because I think everyone needs to understand in this industry, and we have been in severe technical debt for many, many years. And those organizations that I help at a strategic level understand that they can't continue moving forward because of what's coming or what's already here, and that's AI. So next week's talk is going to be important around that and how and what you're thinking about your strategies around archiving, because this in minute, it ties into the compliance flow piece as well. Part of that rollout will also have some more information around other digital validation tools and other software lifecycle development tools so that you understand as our customers what is going on in the world. Sometimes we're only hearing from one side of one vendor, but in order to have a full ecosystem and viable options on your plate, we need to educate and make sure that you all know what those are. And lastly, for those of you that are already in our customer base, if you haven't already received an invitation for the Reinvention Lab to be held in late September, please let me know. The Reinvention Lab is going to bring together strategic partners from major life science organizations, medical device vendors, and regulators together at the end of September for an in-person workshop as we really go to tackle some of these big future problems that we know we still have and that we need everyone's help to get to. So in short, I want to leave you with making sure you have access to all of us information. And Jake, if you can just put the web page in the chat, that would be great. Reach out to each of us. We're going to have this posted in a variety of places, and we'll get you set up for a demo with Andrea's team and Dave on the Melillo side. We'll get Brant and others from the Folk side to show you Enigma, and then Andreas and I can sit down with you and show you how the whole managed service offering would work together. Any last thoughts or questions? Anyone want to leave us with?
I'll close on from Melillo's perspective on a comment that one of the things that we have found with our customers and why we're doing all this is that you can't have compliance be something that's cobbled together from various sources. I have a customer who is absolutely on fire right now because the ALM R&D team doesn't necessarily understand the specific requirements that a regulated industry is facing. And there's finger pointing between the SaaS team. The problem is that for most of the larger vendors, compliance is context for them. It's one of the many solutions. We think that you need to be working with an organization for whom compliance is not context, it's core. This is what we do. If not for the compliance, we don't have a reason to be in business. So we think that that's a consideration for anybody who's looking to solve for these problems, work with an organization who's absolutely steeped in the kinds of things that keep you awake at night. And that's what we've built here. Thanks.
Great. Brent, anything? Andreas, I know you're on and off.
No, just to echo what Mike says, one of the most wonderful things is to work with people who are as focused on compliance as we are. It's not an afterthought. It is the forethought. And that's going to bring a different energy to your organization as well. Believe me, having sat through a bunch of demos, as Mike was saying, this is how we do compliance. This is how we do compliance. Okay. But is that the best? Is that in the best interest of this client? That's our job, right? We're going to filter that out for you. We're going to help you make the best decisions. We're going to make everything work together.
Great. Thanks all. Thanks for your time today. I really appreciate it. And we'll talk to you soon. Take care.